Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Sorry, I had stepped away for a moment and didn't realize we were on air. I can't see anything. Let me get my glasses on. There we go. There we go. I see every one of you now. I see you clearly. How is everyone? We got little Bitcoin trying to, I don't really know what it's trying to do. What is it trying to do? It was like faking us out to the upside. Now it's kind of coming back. We're going to take a look at it, try to figure that out. How is everyone this morning? It is Thursday. Let's see who's in here. Max, what's up, Max? Caribbeans, buenos dias, my friend. West Coast, what up, man? What up? I got a cat in here with me, and I think she wants out. She's just like looking at me and looking at the door like, hello, do something about it. How is everyone? Got Bitcoin hanging out around $68,000 today. Just kind of doing a whole lot of nothing and really hasn't moved. John, what's up? John boy, John the mod. We get all excited when Bitcoin kind of pumps up like $1,000 bucks, but really has done nothing, right? But it's been such down only that when you get a little $1,000 move, it feels like so great. Bitcoin, like West Coast says, Bitcoin likes that point of control, like I said yesterday. Yeah. So, guys, we went live yesterday. I'll kind of show you what he means. We went live yesterday for VIP Discord, and we tried to go live for the U.S. Power Hour, and it really sucked. And it's like what I told them. For me, the hardest part to trade is point of control. It's boring. Your risk to reward sucks. You have to take profit really quickly. It's just not fun. And this is since Tuesday. So for the last 2 or 3 days, I mean, Bitcoin has kind of just hovered around this point of control. And I mean, once you get here, sometimes if you don't just instant react off of it or just fall right through it, which doesn't usually happen, you just get stuck here. It's like a magnet for price, right? That's what point of control is, if you don't know. It is the point in a range where the most volume was traded. So it doesn't mean most sell volume or most buy volume. So it doesn't mean you rocket through. Quite the opposite. It's a combination of the most buy and sell volume. So usually you get just a lot of buyers and sellers in here. So you get stuck just buy until one side gets exhausted, and then it can move up or it can move down out of there because the buyers get exhausted or the sellers. And how many of you come here and you take a trade? You know, let's say, you set this high, I'm just for example, and you come back and let's say this is a golden pocket retrace, and so you're going to short. I mean, you have to take profit here. You have to, because it's point of control. Chances are you're going to bounce, right? And your stop loss has to go there at a minimum, and it's just not good risk to reward. It's just not good trading. Let's say you timed it perfectly right there, and you got to go above the high there, and you've got to take profit right there. I mean, you're only like a one and a half or so risk to reward. I mean, that's just not good. It's just not good trading. It's not fun. And it's slow. I mean, these aren't like, other than this spot right here, these aren't like just quick candles down. I mean, I'm on the 15-minute time frame. So even if you did take this trade, it took you 1, 2, 3, 4. It took you an hour just to get down here on this little like $500 move. It took you an hour to get there. For 1.5 to 1 risk to reward, it's just not fun. It's not. Point of control is the worst place to be trying to scalp trade, in my opinion. Anyway, so that's what we dealt with yesterday. And I told them, I said, I just don't see Bitcoin escaping this point of control anytime soon. Well, I mean, relatively anytime soon, meaning yesterday. It's going to take a catalyst, probably, which, flashbang, guys, flashbang. Boom. Could be tomorrow. So we did have jobs reports today, and it was bullish. Okay, we had some bullish jobs reports, so we could see the U.S. open up and do a little something. However, we're going to talk in a second about that. Tomorrow is the biggie. This will be a catalyst. We have CPI tomorrow, okay? That is massive report. If CPI misses the market, if it comes in on target, probably not much happens. But if it misses the market, if we're still around point of control, you should launch off of this thing, either the upside or the downside, depending on how the report comes in. That'll be before stream tomorrow, so you'll get an initial like over leveraged a reaction right when the report comes out, where it probably violently swings both ways. And then you'll get the real move most likely when the U.S. market opens for us. So expect major volatility tomorrow if these reports miss the targets, which they usually do. So tomorrow should be a very good trading day. I did let you know in Discord earlier that I was driving to the gym, so I couldn't load it up, but I did let you know I was getting the email notifications that BlackRock was loading up again to dump on you. And I haven't actually checked to see if they did dump. Let's go take a look. Let's refresh. Sorry, guys. Had to handle the cat. So let's see. BlackRock was loading up. You can see these. Well, let's go to Outflow. Sorry. Here you go. You can see they loaded up 4 transactions earlier, about 300 Bitcoin a piece, and I don't know if they've sold yet. I haven't looked. They sold that one, and let's look at the top one. If they sold the top and bottom, yep, they sold them. So they dumped on you, which is probably what caused this dump right here. This little pullback we're getting right here. It doesn't look like a big pullback, but they didn't load up much. Only about 1,000 Bitcoin or so they loaded up, but they did dump you down. And I mean, it was enough to move the market about $500-600 down. So this is BlackRock. They sold in the last hour. So this move down, we were moving up nicely, and then BlackRock dumped. So you can see they have enough to kind of, and I'm sure if they unloaded all their bags, they could significantly move the market, but they typically don't do that. They sell what they got to sell, and they hope to catch a liquidation. They hope it can move price. Let's say everybody longed right there, and or longed somewhere on this green candle, and the stops are right here. They had hoped to push the price enough to get below this, create a liquidation spike to the downside, but that didn't happen. And that I noticed, no other ETFs were selling this morning. I didn't go through every ETF, but the handful that I follow, nobody else sold anything significant. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Let's take a look. Did anybody get... I gave an H-bar trade in Discord yesterday or the day before, maybe the day before, a couple days ago, and it immediately went against this. I told them not to panic. Number one, we're spot trading, so you can't lose unless you choose to sell for a loss. And I actually, whenever I posted it, I believe I said something to the effect of, I don't expect this to play out. I expect this to take a few days to play out, and it did. We got the big pump up on H-bar. Let's take a look. 7%. It was up more than that. It was up about 8% or so. So we did get that pump we were looking for, and then some. I sold, and we've been doing the spot trading alts for about 2 weeks now. One account I started with $50,000. That's this one. I screenshotted this earlier. It's up to $58K. So $8,000 profit on this account, and then the one I'm logged into currently, I started with $55K, and you can see it is up to $70. I bought yesterday. Well, I've done several trades here, but yesterday on the live stream, I bought Fetch AI on the live stream yesterday morning. I bought 443,000 Fetch AI coins, and I sold them this morning. So we are up 15,000 on this one and 8,000 on the other account. $23,000 profit. Spot trading, not leverage, spot trading alt in the last 2 weeks. Okay, I don't even think it's 2 weeks. I think I started, I think Sunday will be 2 weeks. So $23,000, there's a lot of money. And I've been telling you guys in Discord and on the live stream that there's a lot of money to be made in spot trading alts. And I understand I'm starting with like a $100,000 balance. I get it. So if you're starting with 10 grand, you would only be up 2,300. But still, you got to start somewhere. It's about percentage gains. I'm up 23%. Okay? And it adds up. It compiles. And you got a whole bear market here to compile these spot trades and either shave off profit or use the profit to accumulate alts, whichever you choose. So good job to those of you who are taking advantage of that. I know some of you just aren't convinced yet, but I don't know how much more profit I got to keep showing you guys for you to realize You can make a lot of money spot trading alts with significantly reduced risk, especially where these coins are in the market right now. Looking at the weekly, like on WorldCoin. I mean, just WorldCoin, you're down below. You're at the lows. So the risk is significantly reduced that you're not going to at least come back above here at some point. Most all of them are this way. So take advantage of this. You don't get this very often. There's a very small stretch of a few months where you can take advantage of this, and then you don't get this luxury the entire rest of the 4-year cycle. This is it. This is where the money is made in the bear market. All right. Go back. We got 8:30 right now. Let's go back to bitter corn and take a look. See what the U.S. does. Remember, we don't trade the 8:30. We trade the 8:45. At least I do. I saw this pump coming. I told you guys yesterday on the VIP live stream that I really looked for more upside, but I was really worried if we got caught below the golden pocket, or not the golden pocket, the point of control. I was really worried that we could get sucked down to very low, but when we got the daily close, I did go in Discord and tell you that, law of the volume profile says we go down. I said, but I really don't like the move down here. That I actually think I said I'm going to sit on my hands here. I keep you guys in the loop. Yeah, I said right here, right after the daily close, I said I'm sitting on my hands for now. We got the close below the POC. But we're getting some altcoin 3-day green dots, unconfirmed. But Bitcoin is also trying to get one. And I just felt the way money flow is looking and these green dots popping up on alts, that I do think these moves to the upside are going to be very subpar. I said that. I said, but I do think we could move up a little bit here. And that's what we've done so far. So I sat that one out. I did not take the trade below the point of control on the daily close. And we'll see. We'll see what the U.S. wants to do right here. They have just opened. We're watching the first 5-minute candle. They're moving it to the upside so far. We did have the bullish jobs report. It was bullish. Let's see what Asia and UK did. Asia kind of went down, and then the UK took it all back. They took out the Asia high. The US just took out the UK high. So this is a little more difficult to just blind to predict. We called the last 2 days easily called the last 2 days just based upon Asia and UK performance. But this is a little more difficult because they did not trend in the same direction. They trended opposite directions. So it's kind of a coin flip what the U.S. wants to do. However, we do have a UK low there. And we have an Asia low there. And both the UK, there's the Asia high taken out, and the UK high are both taken out. So all we have are lows if the U.S. is looking for some liquidity sweep here. All we have left are the lows, unless they want to come back and get some prior in the week highs. But we're just going to chill here until 8:45, and then we'll figure it out. Salt Chain, good morning. John Boy took that H-bar trade. Good job, bro. Oops, I keep clicking off my screen. Carry Ben's incredible strategy with alts. Making the math is 1.23 to the initial investment. Max got out of the H-bar trade for $600 profit. Patience pays. Yeah, patience pays. We're in that time where even if you get in a bad trade, a spot trade on alt, let's say you get in a spot trade here, right? And price does like this and goes down on you. We're in a spot, all-time highs for alts are up here, right? You just come down. Now we're kind of somewhere near the bottom-ish, right? You're in a spot, even if you get in a bad trade here, you're most likely going to get out of it in profit at some point. Probably in the next couple days, but if it takes you a couple months to dance around the bottom of the bear market, that is what it is. Just make sure you're trading good coins here that have potential to come back up, okay? which most of them should come back up at least to where you are now. But you're in a good place right now. This is a good place to spot trade alts. You don't spot trade alts on the way up. That's a no-no. And I have stats for that too. I tried to show you guys some stats yesterday in the VIP live stream, and nobody wanted to see my stats. Trying to help you with a little bit of historical insight on how to trade some of these alts. Nobody wanted to see them. But that's okay. I'll let you guys know when I take the trades, and if you're cool with that, that's cool too. We're going to take a look. We discussed the point of control, but we are still in the value area range here. I'm on the KCEX charts. By the way, guys, I'm trading on KCEX and MEXC. The banner up top, kcextrading.com. Go directly there. Get you a KCEX trading account. Lowest fees in the game. They are tied with the lowest fees in the game with MEXC. I've pinned a comment in chat for MEXCtrading.us. MEXCtrading.us. You can get those accounts. You want both. Trust me when I tell you want both. Those are the two I'm trading on. If we do get a trade this morning, I will be on MEXC. I like to scalp trade on MEXC. I don't really know why. I'm a creature of habit, and I just scalp trade, and I use another account. I use KCEX for day trading. Trades I plan to be in for a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks. I use that. So here I am. I'm going to keep it over here on the side. I'll let you know if I see a trade coming up, though. I'm waiting till 8:45. I do expect 2 big trades coming up, okay? In the relative near future, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 big trades I'm anticipating, and I want to catch both of them. I'm not really sure which one we get first. I do think we'll probably move to the upside first, and then the big last drop to the downside. So I want to catch the big drop to the downside, and I want to catch the bottom, okay? And I want to try to long the bottom. Maybe like a multi-year long, if I can catch the bitty bottom. But actually, I'll probably exit that and try to catch it again, because we looked at yesterday historically. I'll show you guys. Not all of you were here yesterday, I'm sure. Historically, what chart am I on? All right, we get history here. Historically, when you bottom, you come back and double bottom, right? So we are in, I'm looking at 2022. Let's go to like the 3-day. Bitcoin dumping down. I like to see that. So you bottomed here, and you came a little bit lower, but you bottomed here, and then you came back and double bottomed, right? Okay. So I want to try to catch this trade. We're right in here, okay, in my opinion. I'm going to show you that. We're right in here. I want to try to catch the move up, the fake out to the upside. I want to try to short it here, then I'm going to try to catch this. This move to here, okay? And then when we catch the double bottom, which I anticipated double bottom, I'm going to try to catch a multi-year trade that I just leave on an exchange and don't check for 2 years. And let's go back and look at 28. That's 2022. Let's go 2018. Here we go, it's 2018 cycle. It's a little more subtle here because you didn't have the FTX collapse, but you bottomed here. So we're here, we are right here in my opinion, okay? And we're just kind of dancing here, waiting for one more drop to bottom. I want to catch this pump, close out somewhere in here, and then you came back to double bottom. You didn't take the low this time, but you came back and basically double bottom. This would be the multi-year trade, okay? This is the biggie. So we got 3 trades upcoming. This second trade, this double bottom is months away in my opinion. But this first short down to here and this long here is happening within the next month in my opinion. I want to catch both of them. So I want you guys to catch both of them. Let's go see what Bitcoin's doing, guys. What is going on here? I got the cat meowing in here wanting to get out so bad. She's scratching at something. We have 3 cats. My best time frames for entering all trades, it depends. It depends. It depends. It depends. It depends on what I'm trying to do. Sometimes I like to enter on like the hour. I typically don't enter on anything less than the hourly. If I'm entering on the hourly, I'm looking for like a 1% move. But when I'm really trading also, when we get in the big trades, I'm looking for like 3-day and up. 3-day, 5-day, weekly, 10-day, things like that. So, and when I get in those, I have historical stats that nobody wanted to see, but I'm looking for minimums of 5%, upwards of, in the bear section here that we're in. Well, I know nobody wanted to see it, but I want to see it. Let me pull them up. Only because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing right now. I did, and you guys can screenshot this. Get ready for a flashbang. I'm going to show you, I did fetch AI. So this is what's most applicable to where we are now, in my opinion. Flashbang. All right, pay attention, guys. You can make a lot of money here. All right, so I went through, and I understand. I just same preface as always. Historical data does not dictate future performance. I get it. But it rhymes very similarly most of the time. So anyway, I went through and marked out every time on the bear leg down and the bottom of the bear market consolidation, okay? That's the only time period I marked out in this chart. For Fetch AI, I've done it for HBAR, I've done it for Algorand, I've done it for WorldCoin. But Fetch AI, which is the new biggie that I'm on, all the 5-day green dots, the weekly green dots, and the 10-day green dots. And I marked out the dates you got them, how much percentage you get in that first 5-day candle, or first weekly, or first 10-day, depending on which section I'm in, how much percentage gain you got. Then I did it on the second 5-day candle, how much percentage you gain on that, and how much you gained total. And the reason that I did this on multi-candles is I wanted to see if it benefited me any to hold this longer than the first candle in which we got the dot, okay? And in the bear leg down and bear market, you can see here on the right, I have compiled the stats. The average move was 13%, on the first 5-day, with 12% on the second 5-day candle, okay? So it really didn't benefit me anymore on a 5-day green dot to hold this thing more than one 5-day period. Does that make sense? And actually, of the 5-day dots, 4 of them went down. You see it in red. 4 of them, you actually would have lost percentage gains if you held it another 5 days beyond the first 5 days, okay? And if we took out this big 29%er, that anomaly, your average is 10%. So you got to kind of take that into consideration too. So for this, your minimum was 5. I see 5, 6, 9, and then a couple biggies. I would really look for more of a 5%er on a 5-day dot, 5, 6%. Okay, that seems to be the trend, right? With a couple of exceptions here. Well, how do you know there are going to be exceptions? Okay, so what you want to do is when you enter on the 5-day dot, you then watch it. You expect about 5%, okay? Expect about 5%. This is in the bear leg, not the bull market. Expect 5%. But then you look over and say, okay, do we have continuation? What would continuation be? That would be the weekly dot. And so for 3 of these, we got weekly dots, okay? So for the one in June, we got weekly dot that followed through that. And then we got the September one, and then we got the October one. So on the ones we got continuation, then we actually had big moves like the October one here when we got the weekly. No, we didn't. That's a lie. I lied. Ignore that. These are separate. I lied. These are separate. So we only got 3 weekly green dots. On the weekly green dot, we got 4%, 25%, and 5%. 25% is a massive outlier, okay? It's a massive outlier. And of that 25%, you can see in the 5-day dot, you got 29%. So you actually, by the time you got the dot here, you were on the way down. So with the weekly and the 5-day, your average is about 5% or so, okay? So I'm going to be looking for about 5% and watching for bleed over. And here on the 10-day green dot, on the bear leg, you only got 1, okay? The difference here, when you got the 10-day green dot, look, on the first 10-day period, you got 9%. Second 10-day period, you got 18%, and a total of 53%. So this is really the only dot that it behooved you to hold on to that for multiple periods. When you got the 10-day dot, that tells you this is a much more powerful dot, because you, on 2 of the 3 on the weekly, you lost percentages by holding it for 2 periods. 4 out of the 5 on the 5-day, you lost by holding it. And I know it's only one sample size here, but on the 10-day, you got significant significantly higher results by holding it, okay? So when I get the 5-day and the weekly green dot, I'm going to look to get what I can get in that first candle and get out. If it continues, great, but I'm rolling with the stats. If I get the 10-day dot, I'm going to look to hold this for a few weeks, okay? We'll go back. Remember this, screenshot this if you guys want it. You can screenshot it. I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you the bull stats, and the difference is incredible. Bitcoin dumping down, guys. Well, altcoins are holding up, though. Altcoins are holding up pretty well. I'm looking at the percentages of it. They're really not dumping. Look at this big 5-minute dump for the last 10 minutes, and let's look at Fetch. Not much of a dump. WorldCoin, not much of a dump. HBAR, actually right where it started 3 candles ago. So Bitcoin selling off here. Altcoins holding up for now. I wish they wouldn't. I need them to come on back. I sold out of my alts. I'd like to keep this trading going. It is 8:45. See if we can get a reversal candle here. I'm on the 3-minute. I want to see a 3-minute green vector. If we came down to the point of control, it would be really great and bounced hard. I got an alert set there. I'm not interested in trading this. You can't short this right into point of control. You can't do it. Can't do it. You shouldn't do it anyway. You can do whatever you want to do, but you shouldn't. Flirting with VWAP right now. This is a bad area to trade, guys. If you get stuck in here between VWAP and point of control, you really don't need to get stuck in here. This is not a good tradable area. You need to bounce up out of here. But there's just no strength here right now. No divergence. Drop to the 1 minute. No divergence. 6 minutes. Unconfirmed divs here on the 6. I like to see them on the 1 though. I don't like this. Let's come back and look at Fetch AI, because you're going to like to see this. So first of all, we just had I'm going to pull up the one we just looked at. See it one more time, and then I'm going to show you the comparison. See how week 2 or period 2 for each of these, about 90% red, which means you lost holding it more than whatever period this is, right? Very small gains, 5%, 6%, 9%, 4%, 5%, very small. Here is after you finish the bear bottom. Look at this. When you get the dots on the 5-day, 1 week, and 10-day, it definitely behooves you to not take profit at the end of that first period, okay? Even if you get a little pullback, very few of these did you actually not gain by holding it longer, okay? Very few of these. And let's see how you can tell on these. So when you enter on the 5-day, look at this one where you would have lost right here. You would have lost in this April one, right? You would have lost if you held it for 10 days for the second 5-day period. You did not get continuation. You do not have an April dot on the weekly here. So if you're in the 5-day trade in the first 5 days and you do not go ahead and get the weekly follow through, the weekly dot, right? Within that 5-day period, it's time to get out. But the rest of these, you did get it. So that I told you to stay in, right? Even this one where you lost 1% here in October. So you got the October 5-day and you got the October weekly in the same. You only lost 1%, but you went on to get 151% after that. So, and I guarantee you on this one, you would have got the 10-day. Look down, October. Yep, you got the 10-day right there too. Finished with a total of 286%. So for the most part, you enter on the 5-day green dot if you're still trading in the bull market, the bull leg, okay? If you're still trading in here, you enter on the 5-day and then watch it. You stay in it. If you get the weekly before this 5-day closes, if you get the weekly, stay in it. If you don't get the weekly, close out. Take your profits. But look at the difference. It's crazy. So the lesson here is on the bear leg, you take your profits quickly, and you get in and out on that same candle. Doesn't matter what happens. You get out on that same candle. Whatever candle you get the dot on, you get in, you take your profits, looking for 4 to 5, 6%, and out. Not liking the Bitcoin price action here, guys. This is just not good. This is not good. This is not tradable for me right now. If I were to take anything, gosh, I hate to even call it. Let's look at a little higher time frames. Let's go to 4 hour. Money flow coming down. Let's look at the 2 hour. Money flow coming down on the 2 hour. Stochastic on Bjorn coming down. If volatility ticks up with the stochastic coming down, you're going to get a big move down. 90 minute. Everything coming down. Money flow coming down. VWAP coming down. Momentum trying to roll over. This just looks bearish for now. Oh, you're trying to get Bjorn volatility trying to tick up on the 30 minute. Stochastic headed down. Money flow trying to come back into the red. Got a red dot, unconfirmed, bearish. Same thing here, money flow coming down. Can't see Bjorn, got to erase the marks. Kind of sideways here. Let's look at 15 minute. Stochastic headed up on the 15, but volatility kind of sideways, so could be a big old nothing, or at least a subpar move to the upside if volatility doesn't tick up. So it looks like you might have a little short-term move to the upside here. I don't know. This doesn't look good, guys. This doesn't look good. If not for being right here at VWAP and point of control, I would short this, but I'm not going to short into point of control. Which sucks, because I would really like to look for a good long here. So it's a good longable place at point of control. It just doesn't look good. We got a poll in chat. Let's see what everyone is looking at on their alts. The question is, are you buying spot altcoins yet? 63% say no, waiting for lower. 0% say yes, aggressively. 38% say I'm spot trading them only for now. I am in that 38%. I am only spot trading. I don't have any holds that I have filled any type of bag, large or small. I'm only, a matter of fact, I don't have a single altcoin. That's not true. I do have a little bit of Luna Classic in here. I don't even know how much you got. I got a little bit of Luna Classic though. I don't even know how many Luna I got. I got about 1 million Luna. It's probably worth about 50 bucks. I know, it's terrible. I know, it is what it is. John likes spot trading. I love spot trading alts. I love that there's no pressure. There's no pressure. Like, you don't have to worry about getting liquidated. You don't have to worry about getting stopped out. You don't have to worry about it. If you get in a trade like I got in H-bar the other day with you guys, and it went against us, but I told you ahead of time I'm working on a weekly signal. I think it was a weekly, maybe a 5-day signal. So I expected it to take at least that period to play out, right? The stat I just gave you. That was on Fetch AI, but I've got them for H-bar too. Same thing. I was looking for 5 or 6%. From the time I gave you a look, today we were up 7%, okay? We're up about 5% since I gave the signal because we went down about 2.5%, okay? So I sold. It hit my target. Could we go higher? Yeah, sure. But statistically speaking, we're about where we should target out. You know, anywhere between like 5 and 9%, 5, 6%. Actually, yeah. 5, 6, and 9%. So we're right there. We're right there. But the good thing is I wasn't worried about it. Like, I couldn't get liquidated, so I didn't have to sit there and watch the chart. I just walked away. We went down. I just walked away. I didn't look at it again. I did not look at it again. I set an alert, left it alone, and was confident that it would come back. And if not, it's a good enough coin that I didn't mind riding it until it did come back. because I knew this is not a coin, most likely not a coin going to zero or anywhere near it. So that's how we played it. I love spot trading alts. Bitcoin moving up a little bit here. Not much. I mean, we're still right there. 67.8. So just a whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. We have changed market structure locally. On the 15-minute, we've changed market structure, which doesn't mean as much here. So you got low, higher, 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 higher. Now you got lower. See that? So you were here, here, here. Now you're here. You can expect something like this, right? But the problem with this is why it doesn't mean as much is because you're sitting on point of control. And it just is what it is. I mean, you changed market structure like 37 times in here and never left point of control. Not really 37 times. You know what I'm saying. Let's take a look at this. Showed you this chart. Here we go. Showed you this chart yesterday, and this is, for those of you who weren't here, this is 2022 cycle compared to this cycle. They're shockingly similar. And we've finally come down into circle number 8. Let's zoom in on circle number 8 here and kind of see it. Current price action. This is the, I'm about to turn off the weekly bars pattern, and we're going to put on the daily for where we are now. Okay? And let's slide this over here, okay? All right, so we can kind of try to, and it doesn't have to play out the exact same way. I acknowledge that. It doesn't, and it probably won't. There'll be some slight differences, but let's just kind of see. This is obviously the low right there, right? Right, there's the low right there. What happened last time, okay? We just kind of set a little range here, right? Just kind of set a little range. I mean, you know, this is a rough range. Just kind of set a little range in here. So something like that. I know it's very rough. And you kind of came above it a little. You can imagine this being a volume profile. Came below it a little, came above it a little. But you set an initial high right here, okay, right? You set an initial high. That's what I want to pay attention to. So what I want to try to determine. Set an initial high. You kind of bounced up, and then you set this little high, right? Then you kind of danced around. All right, same thing here. This time you came up, you ricocheted up, and then a couple days later, see, this was a couple days later when you set that high. A couple days later, you set a high. Okay? Then what happened? All right, so you kind of trended down, sideways, but look, you kind of trended down, right? You kind of trended down, right? Okay, similarly, not exact, but similarly, you can see these wicks kind of trending down, right? And what we all know, this forms like a descending wedge or a descending triangle or something like that, which is a bearish pattern that leads to a bullish outcome most of the time, right? So you kind of trended down here, kind of similarly, just kind of trending down. And I know I'm not connecting lines exact. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We're talking structure, not exact. So when it was time to go down, they don't like you to just go down, right? Because a lot of people shorted this. A lot of people shorted this. A lot of people would have shorted this right here. What are they going to do? They're going to liquidate or stop out those people and induce you to go long right here, right? They're going to induce you to go long thinking this is it. We're breaking out, only to reverse it and come back down and set the ultimate low. I'm expecting the exact same thing. Exact same thing. So what that could look like, it's something just kind of like this for a little while longer, you know, another week or two, and then a boom, boom. Just like that. I'm expecting the same thing. The candles would have to match up, candle for candle. That's okay. But I expect a similar structure. Okay? And do you know why this is these types of patterns so often create a bullish break? Okay? Short term, at least. I mean, it doesn't have to be a big bullish break to 200K, but short term. Do you know why? Anybody know why? And that most of the time they do not break down, although they can, but they typically break up first. Anybody know why? Should we offer 500 bucks? Bet that would get somebody. Max, as usual, correct. Max has done 3 mentorship programs. Yeah, Kerry Benz, you got it too, right after Max. Exactly. So look, guys, when they're setting the lows here, like, let me erase some of this. Well, no, let me keep those. Let me just erase these two. So when they set a low here, right, set a little low there, little liquidity there, right? Then they come down and set a little low, little liquidity there. Then they're coming down here. They're grabbing this liquidity, right? They've already taken both. Sure, there's a little here, but they've grabbed what they wanted to grab. Well, here there's liquidity build up, liquidity build up, liquidity build up, liquidity build up. They haven't gotten any to the upside. They've gotten all these, so there's really no reason to bring it lower unless they're coming for this, right? And they will. But usually they don't like for these people to catch a free ride, so they say, just kidding, get you, and then come grab this. So that's why it usually breaks the upside. That's why we can predict that this will likely break to the upside, because you got liquidity here, obviously, and then you got some liquidity there, boom, right? Then we just grabbed it yesterday, right? And you might come set one more and grab this. And you're going to have all this liquidity, and then they're going to go, boom, grab all that, and then come grab this. That's usually how these things play out. And it's nothing more. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Call it a bear flag, call it a bull flag, call it whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it. Rising channel, falling channel, descending, this or that. It is nothing more than a liquidity grab. That's it. Whatever you want to call it, whatever you pattern bros out there in YouTube land, the pattern bros want to call it, us traders call it liquidity run, liquidity grab. That's it. Liquidity hunt, liquidity sweep, whatever you want to call it. If you can start looking at structures like, I don't like to call them patterns, I call them structures. If you can look at structures like that, then you can catch some really good trades. And you got to know where you are. Okay, so are we in this structure right here, right? Well, what is our trend? Our trend is macro bearish, like massively. And do the indicators, especially the higher time frame indicators, look like it's about to flip bullish? Are you having daily, 2-day, weekly bullish divergences? Are you having money flow curving back towards the green? If you're having those things, that's different. But if you're not yet getting those things, then you can anticipate this is just going to be a liquidity grab before continuation down. Okay, but you can't continue down forever. So if you see a structure like this, eventually there's going to be a bottom that doesn't get taken, right? So if you see a bottom like this and you start to see that 3-day, weekly, 2-weekly, even daily time frame money flow curving back to the upside, you start to see these green dots firing off. You start to see stuff like that, which means in good 3-day, weekly bullish divergence, when you start to see that stuff, then when you look for this trade here, that might be the case where you're just going to continue and leave the bottom behind, because that will come a time when that happens. But if you don't see those higher time frames shifting like that, then just anticipate this being a fake out. Look for the SFP of this liquidity grab and trade it back to the downside. Don't blind trade it. Look for your bearish divergences, look for your confirmed swing failure patterns, look for money flow, things like that. But yeah, and as of now, we do not have those higher time frames curving back to the upside. We can take a look, but we don't have any of that stuff going on. I'm on the daily. You can see you're still, kind of maybe a little curvature here, just barely, but you're still deep in the red and money flow. You can see momentum wave looking to curve back to the downside. Even the daily is not really good enough for a macro structure change. It does start there though. But let's look at the weekly. Gates are still wide open here on momentum wave to the downside. You're getting thicker here in the money flow to the red. You just crossed over the red. Last time you crossed to the red, you spent an extended period of time down there in the bear market. We just crossed over. I don't anticipate it just faking back out. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't ebb and flow a little. Now let's look at the 5-day. Same thing. Gates are wide open here. Momentum headed down. Money flow headed down. None of this looks like it's ready to macro shift back to the upside. None of it. So when they do go run to my target, which I know you're curious about, I am simply looking for a run. Oops. Bitcoin dumping. Big time. Breaking that point of control. I told you I was looking for downside. I am simply looking for a run of 72.2 before downside. I don't think we dump straight from here. We can go straight from here. We don't have to. But I would look to dance around here. I'm on the 4 hour. Dance around here a little while longer. That's a really bad drawing. Something probably like this for a couple more weeks. Boom, boom. Actually, I don't think we come up that high at all. Ignore this. I think we barely take it right there. So something like that. Boom, boom. Short trade. That's what I would look for. And you're going to set in that structure right there. Falling wedge, is that what you would call it? Descending channel. Called a liquidity channel to the upside. Fake out. And again, well, why do you not think it's going to keep going? Because nothing on the higher time frames, none of it looks like it's ready to flip around. None of it. None of it. If I saw that, I'd be like, caution, guys. Caution, guys. When we break this thing, I don't think we come back. I don't think that at all. Bitcoin trying to lose point of control here. Alts are dumping down too. Wow. Okay. I got a little alt order placed. I think I'll move it over. I know you guys don't want to see it. I'll move it over. Oh, I'm on Luna Classic. No wonder I'm like, what? There I am, the big order. See how I got these orders in the big one? That's me. And again, I'm not buying because I think the bottom is in at all. I don't think the bottom's in for alts, not even close. And I'm looking at Fetch AI, and Fetch AI is one of the only coins that has not yet taken its October 10th low. And I do think they all, at minimum, take that. Most of them have already taken their October 10th low. So this one's being a little more stubborn than the rest. You are in this good volume gap for Fetch AI, which just happens to end right here at the October 10th low. Then you got point of control right below that. So I'll look probably for point of control, but at least I'm a buyer at October 10th low. I'm not going to nickel and dime it 1 penny less. And I've talked about this, guys. If this is 11 cents and you're holding out for 10 cents on an asset that just left $3.50, a 35x, next thing you know, you're going to be thinking, okay, just a little bounce. We're coming back. Shit, I better buy in at 20 cents because you held out for 1 penny. Don't do that. Don't do that. Not financial advice. I've done that. I won't do that again. So whereas I think we come here, I am a buyer here. And I'm perfectly fine. Let's just say it gets a 30x from here. Let's just say, I don't know what it'll get. Let's say it gets a 30. I'm perfectly fine getting a 26x and not risking this and having to buy here and only getting a 6x. Perfectly fine. I'm cool. But I do think we at least come here. Probably a few weeks away. We talked about this yesterday. I think I put it on a chart. There it is. This is what I'm anticipating right here for Bitcoin. This is my timing of it too. First week to 2 weeks of March. I'm expecting this low for Bitcoin. Most alts will bottom-ish right there also. Your stronger alts will bottom right there. Your other weaker alts could continue to bleed beyond that though. Proud of you, Carrie Benz. You got that grab liquidity thing. Good job. Salt Chain likes the term descending channel. Hawkborn, you've done that too many. I've done it so many times. Listen, I like to play the 85% rule, right? 85%. Like if I'm targeting something, like let's say, well, let's zoom out. I'll show you. I know a lot of guys don't do this, and maybe I'm not as good of a trader as a lot of guys. But you see the blue lines, those are our value area range. So let's say I shorted the value area high, right? Let's say I shorted the value area high, TP1 and then TP2, right? Well, I'm going to take profit there. And I'm going to, if we're going back to the upside, I'm going to take profit there. You have any idea how many times I've seen these things front ran? I'm not going for blue line to blue line 100%. I'm not doing it. I'm going like 85%. I'm going to shave off like 7% from the top and 7% from the bottom, and I'm playing the middle 85%. And I'm cool with that. Because what I don't want to do is see one of these, I'm targeting 100%, and you get hit with a big old 95%, and then next thing you know, you're getting stopped out at entry, and you didn't make anything because you got greedy. I just don't do that. It's just not my style. You got to find what works best for you, what you're comfortable with. Oh, yeah, John, we've all done that at some point. Some of us too many times. I got off my Monster drinks. I got on the Coke, back on the Coke Zeros. When I'm on Discord at 3 o'clock in the morning with you guys, I'm drinking coffee though. Pretty much caffeine until about 9:30, 10 a.m. Pretty much all I drink. Does nothing for me, but I drink it. So I do want to take a look at something else real quick. I'm just kind of watching Bitcoin. I just can't trade this, guys. I'm sorry. I know we didn't get a trade this morning. I did get a trade last night, guys. I didn't even tell you guys this. I forgot about it too right now. I was half asleep. I was looking for this pump up. Okay, I was looking for this pump up last night. Where were we? Here. Yeah, right here. I was looking for this pump up, okay? I woke up in the night. Price was kind of moving. I was looking for the pump up. I knew it was coming, or I thought it was coming. I'll show you. So I shorted with every intention of taking profit and flipping long. So I went ahead and entered a take profit because I was asleep. Entered a take profit. I got out at 66,767. Yeah, right in here, right in here. Right in here. I was anticipating this big bounce up. Sure enough, I'm downloading the P&L card now. Well, I just slide the whole thing over here. So I made $210 profit on this. Very, very small because I was just trying to short a little bit down. And then I was going to flip long and I fell back asleep and missed the dang long. The whole point of me taking a trade, I shorted the loss of point of control with the big blood diamond. I shorted that, took profit, had to take profit set right here at this wick. That's 754. Yeah, I took it at 767. And I was going to look for the swing failure pattern of this, and I fell asleep and missed the long. But I was looking for this trade at like, what time was this? I closed this at 11:13 my time. Yeah, I was asleep. I miss it. At least I made 200 and something bucks. But that wasn't the big trade I was looking for. I was looking for this big trade. Look at Bitcoin bouncing here. Back up a point of control. This is crazy. Revamp, what's up? Might need a caffeine detox. Yeah, I can literally drink a pot of coffee and go right to sleep. It's crazy. Getting the big bounce up. Uh-oh. Is my order getting filled? Hang on, guys. Sell at 72. Oh no. Oh no, price is bouncing. My bad. Never mind. Look at this bounce from Bitcoin. Isn't this crazy? What a bounce. Guys, do you have any questions or any alts we want to look at? I do want to look at USDC, USDT chart. We have not looked at that in a while. See if we can take a look at that. All right, we're looking at the weekly time frame. So this could be some good news for Bitcoin. Very, very locally. I'm on the weekly time frame. We're really overextended here in USDT, USDC. Not often do you get this high. You have before. Okay, way up here. But this was bear market. Okay, this was bear market. All of this stays below. This was the last bear market. This was June of 2022, basically where we are now. So we could get a little bit of a relief. I think we're here now. I wish I could zoom in just on this. All right, so this was the last bear market, right? And we're headed up to that now as far as USDT, USDC chart goes. This was the top. This was the bottom of the bear market, right? So our first little leg up out of here is right here, and I think this is where we are now, okay? This is, we've shown this before, the chart I just showed from 2022, that was May to June of 2022. That's this area right here. That's the bear leg fractal we just zoomed in, okay? So you got a big spike up, and then you pull back, kind of consolidate it for a few weeks before blasting off. I think that's what we have going on here, and this lines up with Bitcoin. We had the big spike up, we're pulling back, probably looking for some type of consolidation like this, right? Before blasting off. And this blast off for USDT, USDC, this here is going to be the final leg down for Bitcoin, okay? But during this time right here is when Bitcoin rallied last time, the little bitty rally where you just broke out on the liquidity grab. I think that's where we are. And let's look at Cypher. You're in the green on money flow, but you can see, as of now, unconfirmed, slight bearish divergence. And the yellow line, the VWAP, the oscillator's starting to curve back down. So in a couple weeks, you can wind up with a red dot here, which can push you down a little bit, something like this, before this wave comes back up for a big high, right? I think this is what we're looking for. So we should expect a little bit of relief coming for Bitcoin, not necessarily today, but in the next few weeks. Let's take a look at the VIX. Same thing on the VIX here. Same thing on the VIX here. You know, when the VIX goes up, Bitcoin goes down, right? So looking like you're looking to kind of roll over here a little bit. You can see the oscillator trying to come down. In a week or so, you should get a red dot here, which can push you down a little bit. So maybe something like this over the next couple weeks, and then this heads back up, which is going to push price down. So these are front runners for Bitcoin price. They look like they want to kind of ease off a little. None of it looks bearish, so it doesn't look like this is fixing to crash. It just looks like it wants to consolidate a little, come back a little, just give Bitcoin a little relief, give the markets a little bit of relief, and then probably head back to the upside and finish the job of the bottom of the bear market. So these are front runners that tell me that we're probably fixing to cool off a little bit for Bitcoin. Not necessarily in the next few hours, but over the next couple of weeks, because I was just looking at the weekly time frame. I wasn't on the 4-hour time, weekly time frame. Takes longer to play out. Which just kind of, to me, just leads to what we were looking for. We're just probably just going to consolidate here, and as those come down, this is going to spike up and then come back down, right? Take out this high. There's our short trade. Come down here, wherever we bottom, we'll look for a long trade, trade it back up, and then we'll look for that double bottom trade several months from now. But all this I expect to happen within the next 3 to 4 weeks. Questions on that, guys? All coins you want to look at? look at any coin you want to look or any questions you might have. Sorry, guys. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin getting that dump. It's just not tradable. It's just same thing you've done for 3 days now. You're just hugging point of control. I mean, that's it. You're just hugging point of control. Pole? Never heard of it. Let's go take a look. Oh, you're talking Polygon. Matic. This isn't Matic, is it? What is this? This is something new. Is this all there is? Is there another chart that has more? This must be different than, it says Polygon, but this isn't the same as Polygon Matic. I guess this is all there is. Dude, you already know. Look at this chart. You already know. If this is all there is, you already know. This looks terrible. The problem with this, it's only been around, well, it's been around a couple years. This looks terrible. I don't even know where to range this thing at. All right. Well, if you range it from I'm on the Bybit chart, which has the most history of what I could find. You're at the bottom, so if anything that looks good, you're at the bottom. But the thing I don't like about this is this was released kind of in the end of the bear market-ish. A lot of coins are already moving up and out. And since the release, you can't ever trust an actual release. But since the release, this has literally been straight down. Like, not one single bullish anything. Even if you can count this as bullish, it just got you back to where it was released, basically. I mean, it didn't even get you to the high after the release. This looks awful to me. I don't know anything about this fundamentally. But technically, I mean, this is where you release. It has been straight down. It has been straight down, which means it was overvalued when it was released. Nobody has shown interest. Poor marketing. I don't know anything about the tech, but it just doesn't look good to me. You can't even trust this value area range because it hasn't been around that long. You don't really know how this is going to perform in a bear market. It could come way down here and do this, and then the value area range could shift from here to there. And then next thing you're just looking for there in the next bull run. You just don't know. There's not enough history here, but I do know from the time of release here, it has been straight down. So man, I'm not trying to knock your coin, brother. I'm sure it's great. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But there's not much history. And that's the thing with these. I don't know anything about this, but if they come out with some latest, greatest technology today, this thing could do a 47,000%. I just don't know anything about it, but just technically speaking, it doesn't look good. So here's the problem also, just speaking technically, if we're looking at this from a liquidity standpoint, there's no liquidity there. Nobody knew what to do with this coin when it was just released here, so I guarantee you nobody shorted that. This was sellers, people who had bought pre-market, investors, things like that, people that were investing in it back here. They sold right there. There was no shorters. And then you came up, you set a high, you took that high. So that liquidity's gone. Probably no liquidity there because nobody shorts the second time. Everybody shorts the first. And then when you did come up and bounce, people shorted here. Boom. Okay, well, they already came and grabbed that. Boom, that's canceled out. Nobody shorted there because everybody shorted there. So the only one not mitigated is this. So you have to assume. And of course, anything can happen. This thing could rip up to $100 for all I know. But you have to assume worst case scenario. And if you were to bottom here, let's just say here, because who knows where you're going to bottom. You're at the value area low. then you're only looking at about 100%. See, that's the worst of all of them that we've looked at if this were to be the bottom. And I can't tell you where it would bottom lower than this because you're literally at the value area low and you've never been here before. So I can't say, okay, there was price action here like this and then you moved up here, so we're probably going to come take this. I can't say that. I have no idea. This is the low. So just like a blue sky breakout to the top, this would be like a brown dirt breakdown. I don't know what you would call it. But it's never been here before, so I have to assume this is a low. So you're only looking at a 2x right there. That's it. 1x. Because this high took that. This one took that. Nobody shorted this because it was brand new. Nobody knew what this was going to do. So nobody, not one person, shorted this. This would have just been early investor selling. So I wouldn't touch this. I wouldn't touch this. Unless you know something I don't know about fundamentals or some big project they're working on. Technically it looks terrible. Brown dirt breakdown. I mean, what do you mean? Blue sky breakout. I mean, that's headed up, right? Blue sky's above you. What's below you? Dirt. What do you want to call it? Green grass breakdown. You want to say that because green implies upside. Red clay breakdown. I don't know. I would absolutely cross POL and I would relabel it POS. This looks terrible. And that's the thing. Just like to the upside when this thing was released, it'd be one thing, but just like when this thing was released, like you didn't know where it was going to go because there was no previous price action back here, so you could determine, liquidity spots and all-time high. That's the thing here. You don't know how low it's going to go. So when do you buy? Do you buy here value area low, or is this really value area low? This may just be temporary value area low because there's never been a value area low before, and you're really going down here to like 1 cent. You just don't know. You don't know. I wouldn't touch this. Salt Chain likes it. Aave. Let's take a look at Aave. Gosh dog it. I almost got my order filled on Fetch AI, and it is absolutely pumped back up like 3%. If I wasn't on stream, I would have got it filled. I just wasn't watching it. I would have chased price a little. Aave on the weekly time frame. If you know a chart that has more history, let me know. But according to this one, it's been around since 2020, late 2020. I'm not going to include this week to the downside. Same thing. This is where price opened. As soon as price opened, early investors just dumped. But since you left up and out of there, you never came back to that area. So could you go there? Sure, but to me, it's less relevant. So we're going to start it right there from the time you left. Okay, actually looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. It's holding up well for now. I think you come lower. I think everything comes lower, obviously, but you have not taken out. It kind of looks similar to Fetch AI. Fetch AI looks better, but this looks similar in that October 10th low is right there around point of control. I think you take both. I would probably be a buyer right there, which will give you another 23% to the downside. I would probably be a buyer. Could you come to value area low? Sure, you could. But from top to bottom, value area low, yeah, you could very easily come to that value area low. In fact, you probably do. That would only be an 87% move to the downside, and most alts do a 90+% down. Most of them 98%. So I don't think I would be a buyer here, actually, now that I look at that. I might would ladder in some buys here just in case. You'll probably get a good reaction here. It's held up as good support here. You've wicked below it every single time, fairly significantly below it. Something around 75 bucks. Come take out this low here, $75, but you could come as low as 50. I don't like this for upside potential though. I don't really like this. It's just not there. Now this thing could rip up to 10 grand. I don't know. But even if you came all the way down and you came back and broke last cycle high, that is 672%. And you're just not going to find most coins that do that. You're going to find most coins are going to set higher highs and higher lows, something like this. So next cycle they're going to underperform, even come to there. I just wouldn't anticipate that. But even if you did, you could, and even if you did, and that's all you got, you just came and took that out, 675% run. There's other coins that we've looked at that you get 675 on their last wick. Like their last wick right there is 675, and their cycle high last time is like 1,500%. So I just don't like it as far as percentage gains. This shows me kind of good stability. It looks like a stable coin, not a stable coin, but it looks like a coin that's it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like there's that real explosive moon power type percentage gains here. It looks good though. There's nothing wrong with it. It would just be something like that looks fairly secure. And again, anything can go to zero. So for some good solid gains, this looks like a pretty good coin. I would target value area low for sure on this coin. I would target value area low. Look how many times you came down here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would target value area low for sure. I mean, it was a magnet 6 times in the last bear market. And then you could look for something like a 5 to 6x gain. That's solid. It looks like a solid coin, but it doesn't look like a coin that's going to give you life-changing gains. Does that make sense? West Coast likes brown dirt breakdown, right? Blue sky breakout, brown dirt breakdown. That's going to be our new thing. I'm going to write that down before I forget it. Brown dirt breakdown. See if I can find me like a little meme or something with that. So Aave, guys, looks solid. Probably going to get you a 5 to 6x out of this. Solid coin. Looks reliable. Looks solid. Structure is good. But it doesn't look like a moon coin. We've looked at better. I keep coming back to it. I think Fetch AI has a very similar. Let me click to it so you can look at the difference in the charts. They look very similar. Look at this chart. Kind of blink and take a mental picture here. And then I'm going to go to Fetch. Similar, but this looks better. With the gain here, if you were to come just to point of control, not even value area, point of control. If you came all the way back to the top, instead of having a 675 cycle high, you've got a 3,800% gain cycle high. It just looks better. Looks better. And if you come to the first little liquidity grab here, just the first liquidity grab, just from point of control, not even value area low, that's 1,000% gain. So you're getting 350% more gain and not even having to come to the cycle high. This coin just looks better. And look at the structure of it, guys. Just look at the structure. Just nothing but higher highs and higher lows. This coin looks great. Higher highs and higher lows. Compared to a world coin, look at that. Structure straight down. Looks terrible. I know it looks terrible. If I didn't know the potential of this coin fundamentally and who owned this coin, who's the creator of this coin, Sam Altman, and his previous business relations with Elon Musk, and what they're trying to do with this coin to have it distributed worldwide to influence things like elections, Ticketmaster, every app, every bank, everything, purchases, verification. If I didn't know what they're trying to do here, I would tell you to run from this because it looks terrible. but I know what they're trying to do, and I know that this is a bearish pattern with a bullish breakout. But it doesn't have to be a bearish pattern with a bullish breakout. It could just right on down to zero, right? However, knowing the project like I know, this sucker right here has major potential. But it doesn't look good like this. This looks good. This is strength. At no point in time when you left here did they want you to come anywhere close. At no point in time they want you to come close to that or that, right? This looks strong. You have buyers every step of the way on the way down. And your upside potential here is like 3,500% back to the cycle high. 1,000% to there. See the difference, guys. But if you can find most of the time, what I like about this one too, and I'm not trying to sell it to you, most of the time when you find a coin like this, which is similar to what we just looked at with, what were we looking at? Aave? You don't have the percentage gains. The percentage gain from here, I mean, if you went to value area low, like we were just looking at Aave, to get back to the point first liquidity play, it's 3,500%. Ave's 675. That's 6 times more percentage gain potential. You don't usually have that in a coin that looks this dang bullish. That's what I like about Fetch AI, and I'm glad you turned me on to that. Thank you so much. You don't usually have those percentage gains. Even if you did, look, even if you guys, if you let's fib this sucker, because you know coins you love return to fibs. If you fibbed it from, I know this is a messy chart. I know. Let me delete this. You guys are gonna love this fib. Let me turn some of this off real quick. All right, let's just take a fib here to current price action. Current price action, not even if it were to go to the point of control. High, cycle low. The 382 is $1.40. From current price action, that's an 800% rally. To the 382, not even the golden pocket, 800%. If you were to come down here to the golden pocket, that's a 1,400% rally to the dang 382. You just don't find this very often. Not with a bullish structure like this. Usually when you find 1,400, 3,500% all-time high, the structure looks like Algorand. It looks awful. And yeah, at all-time high, it's 3,000%. But look where you came last time. Look where you came last time. This is my point. Most coins are going to do this. You hit $3 twice on Algorand, 2 different cycles, twice. And this last cycle, you hit 60 cents. And this is what most coins are going to do. And this coin this time is probably going to go like this. 30 cents, 25 cents. You might get lucky and take this 35 cent. No bullish structure here at all. In fact, this is the worst of the worst. This isn't even a falling wedge like WorldCoin. This is a descending triangle, which you already know how that goes. This looks terrible. So very rarely do you find this percentage gain with a bullish structure like Fetch AI. I'm telling you guys, don't sleep on this coin. I'm telling you. You got the same percentage gains as Algorand in a bullish structure. Use your brain, guys. Not financial advice. Yeah, you're right. WorldCoin did it. Now it didn't change its top leadership. You still have Sam Altman. Sam Altman is still CEO, but they did have a new company come in and buy out a large portion of it and restructure marketing, leadership, core team, all that kind of stuff. You're right. Sam Altman still owns the project though, but you're absolutely right. And I think, and they put something like 187 million, something like that, into it. I don't remember what it was. It was a lot of freaking money. They injected into WorldCoin. That was this WorldCoin pump right here. I missed this. Oh my gosh, I was so mad. I was sick for days. I was that was right. Oops. That was right here. I was sitting here. I was literally sitting here, and that was this right here. This is when they came in. I was spot trading. I mean, racking up freaking coins. I mean, I was buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, all the way, not expecting anything. And this was on a Sunday. Who releases news on a Sunday? Nobody. And I mostly did my trading on the weekends because, you know, news releases, things like that happen during the week. On a freaking Sunday, I was literally spot trading, and I had just sold. I'd bought like here, and I'd sold. And all of a sudden, my alerts just started ding, 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 ding. And this sucker right here did a 145% gain in like 24 hours. I missed the whole dang thing. And I had like $200,000 worth of WorldCoin. I missed like a $500,000 trade right here. It was crazy. On a Sunday, they came and announced that. I was so mad. So mad. I just had to sit there and watch it. Just watched it. Anyway, WorldCoin, great project. Great project. It's going to have some uphill battles with privacy issues, and some small fish governments are trying to ban it and blah, 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 blah. It's inevitable. The writing's on the wall. It's coming. They will get through that red tape, in my opinion, and WorldCoin will absolutely explode next cycle. Mark my words. Those are the two coins I plan to ride, WorldCoin and Fetch AI. Fetch AI just looks, first of all, it has a great team behind it. Looks very bullish structure, has good real-world utility. It has shown strength in the market through two cycles now. WorldCoin looks like dog crap, but I know the team behind it, and I know the project, and I know once they get through that red tape, and it's worldwide accepted, and in fact probably mandated in a lot of areas, this thing is going to moon. All right, let's see. Are we getting in our trade? Still not in our Fetch AI. Price is coming down. Don't forget the identity technology being the thing for the next bull run. Yeah, identity is supposed to be the thing for the next bull run. AI was kind of the narrative this bull run, and they're going to keep AI going, but advanced AI into basically KYC, identification. That's supposed to be the big hot ticket for next item, and WorldCoin is the international leader in that at this point. And they've only improved their team. They have a genius behind them, Mr. Silicon Valley, Sam Altman himself. He is, I believe him and Elon Musk are the two that created ChatGPT, so he knows what he's doing. I saw a thing with Kid Rock the other day, a little clip of Kid Rock talking about Ticketmaster and prices and bots being able to go on and scalp all the tickets, buy up 1,000 tickets, and then, you know, for $50 and turn around and sell them to us for $500 a piece. And he showed the orb, the WorldCoin orb, and he said everybody needs one of these, and that would prevent all of these scalpers from using bots to go buy all the tickets. And so celebrities are adopting it, and once that happens, you already know. You already know. All right, guys, you want me to look at anything else before we get out of here? Just kind of a nothing, guys. I can't trade. I don't trade. I choose not to trade. Point of control. I mean, the risk to reward is just terrible. Can you catch a few little scalps? Sure. But you want to catch it when it breaks away from point of control or breaks down from it with strength. And you've really only got a couple of those, period, in this whole price action, guys. I mean, you got this obvious sign of strength breakdown. How do you recognize a sign of strength? If you don't know how to recognize it, get your vector candle indicator. When you break through this thing with vector candles, that's strength. So you broke through it here with no vectors. What happened? You rolled right back around and came to it. You broke through it here with vectors. Now, you didn't go to 200K, but you broke through it with vectors. You got a little move up, a percent and a half move up. It's a $1,000 move on Bitcoin. That's great. Broke through it with vectors. Confirmed vectors. Not wicks. Confirmed vectors. Same thing here. Broke through it with a vector. That is a strength candle. And the same thing, you moved down another $1,000. So if you're going to mess around with point of control, make sure you're trading the break down or break out of it with confirmed vectors. Okay? That's how I trade it anyway. Otherwise, and you got to take profit quickly. And your stop, I mean, I'm sorry if you don't enter your trade until right here, your stop has to be above point of control because that's the strongest resistance. So, and it's a magnet. So just expect if price reverses on you to get sucked back to point of control because it's a magnet. But it is resistance, so you could reject. So you have to make sure you get a good entry. And if you don't, that's the risk you take with trading point of control. But your stop loss has to be on the other side of your point of control. And judging by this price action, that's not good enough because it's not really respecting it. It is respecting it, you know, generally, but it is not respecting it as in coming up in to a T, rejecting off of it. To a T, you're wicking it every single time, if not breaking right through it. So it's tough. Well, we trade in a candle close? What do you mean, but we trade in a candle close? That's what confirmation means, to trade in a, wait for the candle to close, whatever time frame you're trading on. Yeah, you got to trade, you got to wait for confirmation. Just like here. Just like here earlier this morning when we were on stream, we got this big vector candle right through point of control, right? Right through point of control. I'm on the 15-minute time frame. Big vector candle, but it just wicked it. It just wicked it, okay? It just wicked it. Wick. So you would have waited to see this candle close. If you would have closed here, I would have considered a short down because you broke through it with power. But you didn't. You pull back. So you wait on the candle close. That's nothing. And you can't even long that because that is a red vector. It's not a green vector breaking through. And sure enough, you just ran up a little bit and came right back down through it. This is just a dangerous area to trade, guys. It's not even that it's dangerous. It's just that it's low risk to reward. It's low risk to reward. You got to take profit quick. Just like this here. This is the trade that I took. I took this trade, okay? I saw us breaking through. We had the this trade right here. I took this trade last night. Made a few $100. Showed you the P&L. Took this trade last night. I was looking for the SF. I liked what I saw. We were coming through point of control with vector candle, okay? So I knew we were breaking through it with decent strength. I don't mean headed to zero strength. I mean just enough for this trade. And I was looking for a swing failure pattern to this, and I was going to long it back to the upside. I missed the long. I missed this because I fell asleep. But I traded this, boom, and I knew that my stop had to be above, and I caught this pretty good, actually. Let's see. I caught this at 306, 67.306. So I enter my trade right there, boom, right where the orange line is. That was my entry. And so I have my stop just above point of control. I don't remember what it was at the time, but it was just above point of control, right in here somewhere. And I was targeting this wick right here where I have the yellow line. I was targeting that. And I set my take profit. I'm looking at the other screen, 766, 767, right there. And I took profit. It automatically closed me out, took profit. And this was a 7 to 1, 6.97, 7 to 1 risk to reward trade. So I knew it was a good trade, but I knew where I was. I knew that I was breaking through this with a volume candle and I knew I had to have my stop above this. And so this is what I did. I was on the 15-minute. I put my stop right above the 15-minute 55 EMA, right there. That's exactly where I put it. And I was targeting this, and I went ahead and set my take profit, and we came below it. We did come below it, which is cool. That's what I was looking for. So I didn't get the best take profit, but I got what I was looking for because I was looking for the SFP, which we did get confirmed. I just fell asleep because this took 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, an hour, and this was at 11:23 p.m. So this didn't start reversing until like midnight. I was asleep. Is what it is. But I was looking for this bigger trade. This good W trade right here. This confirmed swing failure pattern. Targeting the high. Easy trade. I caught half of it. I'm okay with that. I caught the smaller half. Not the big leg. Is what it is. All right, we'll look at one more here. Injective, let's see. I don't know that I've ever looked this up. Going to the weekly. Same thing here. I'm not going to take into account this data from down here. That's initial release. Once you got up and out of there, you never came back even close to it. So to me, it doesn't apply. So we're going to go kind of right there. Okay, we have taken the October 10th low. Okay, we took that last week, last Thursday, Friday. You're in a little bit of a volume gap, so I do think you come lower. You see this volume gap we're in, so I do think you come lower, at least to here. See the volume gap here, kind of big volume gap right here. So I do think you come at least to here. Let's mark that out. Probably go ahead and come to point of control, at least. $2 would be a target, as with volume value area low, point of control. All of this area would be a target. But it does look strong. This looks like one of the better strength coins. We'll look at liquidity in a second. But I would at a minimum start buying in at $2, right? In the volume gap, you're probably just going to cruise right through it. Find some support here. You probably wick this and actually come down to point of control. $1.60, $1.70. I'm just going to say point of control, but I'm certain you come to at least $2. Okay? Well, let's just call it $1.60. We're going to come to $1.60. We're going to move our line there. We're going to... All right, but just keep in mind, I said $2 will be the minimum. But I like it more like $1.60. $1.60 to $1.70. Okay, so where are our liquidity spots, right? That's what we want to look for. So you got the high. Nobody shorted the high. Then you got this high. Then you took that high out. So I don't like that high as far as a minimum. We're looking for a minimum. Then you got this high that looks pretty good right here at value area high. So this looks like a good high with value area high. A little confluence there. I like that. We haven't even fibbed it. So that's going to be what I think our minimum would be. So if we do come to point of control, our minimum target is going to be to take that out. Even if you checked up at value area high, that's 650. But if you take out this liquidity high here, you're looking at about a 900%, 9x. That's from point of control, a 9x. And this structure does look good. This coin's been around for a while, since 2020. It is a bullish structure, not as good as Fetch AI. But you are setting higher highs and higher lows as of now. So this looks good and bullish, and I like that it has, if you came to a value area low and then you just came to this little, where the X is, this little minimum spike, it's a 400% rally, but I don't know that you come to value area low here. Point of control to your first TP area is 650. I like that 6.5x on a bullish structure. It's a coin that looks strong, solid, but I more like it to about a 9x. So we go from a 6 to 9x at a minimum, and that's what I'm considering all my coins in worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you go to 0. But you know what I'm talking about. Assuming everything just kind of plays out as liquidity runs go. I like this for a 6 to 9x, assuming you come to point of control. If you just took off from here, looking at a 4x. But we don't believe the lows are in. So 6 to 9x minimum on this. I like this coin. This is a good coin. I like Fitch AI better because, again, the minimum there for Fitch AI is like 1,200%, 1,000%, something like that. So I like the percentage gains better, but it looks similar in structure to Fitch AI. I like this coin. I don't know anything about the project, though. I'm just talking technically speaking. All right, guys, that's about it for me. Thank you guys for being here. I enjoyed it. I'll be in Discord today. I'm kind of just, I'm sitting on my hands right here, guys. I'm just, looks like we're pulling through, but no, you see, you just don't, you see this and it looks like we're headed down, and it's just no, you don't have a vector. It's a no volume candle. This thing could wick right back up. I just don't like it. If I were going to trade something today, let's take a look. We're moving down, but you can't trade this. I'd like to take out, like I told you when we came on stream, we in U.S. immediately came and took out, UK took out the Asia high. The U.S. immediately came and took out the UK high, so all of that's mitigated. I put this right at the beginning of the stream, put these on here. I said the next targets are UK and Asia low. I would like to see a swoop of the Asia low. I would like to see a confirmed SFP here. Maybe not that low. You don't have to come that low. I'm going to take that off. That's going to confuse some people. I would like to see you come take this, confirm SFP with some good divergences. Let's look at the hourly. If we could come take the low here pretty quick. Let's look at 24 minutes. Uh-oh, I may be getting, my order may have just gotten filled. Oh, no, not quite. Sorry, guys, hang on. Trying to get this Fetch AI order in. Anyway, so we would come down here. I'm looking, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the 24-minute. You could see we would come down, set a little lower low here, right? Lower low in price action, right? Price comes down, and I'm exaggerating how low it comes. I don't know how low it comes. But then you got this right here, this wave right here. Set yourself some bullish divergence here, 24-minute time frame. I would probably look for this on the 1 minute also, and I would trade this. You have to trade back to point of control, okay? But the technical target would be the top of this, so you would look for the top. But you have to take profit at the point of control. Don't assume you're going to break through that. You have to TP, then protect your trade with a stop loss in case you come back down, but look for an ultimate TP up here. That's what I would look for. Oh, mate, what's up, man? Got my order trying to get filled right now, guys. I'm up here. It did get filled, some of it. We're probably headed lower. I just want back in this coin right now. Old mate. We just looked at a ton of altcoins. Glad you're here, though, brother. Glad you're here. I like it when you come. You should come. You turned us on to some good altcoins the other day. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I know I diddled all over this. All over this page, but this is what I'm looking for, guys. If I'm going to take a long here, guys, I want to take the Asia low, UK low, Asia low. I'm going to draw it again. Take it. I don't know how low we come, but I want a confirmed SFP, so I want to confirm the swing failure pattern here. Then I want to see my indicator, my cipher indicator look like this. So I've got a lower low here, right? And then a higher low there, something like that. That's what I want to see on this 24-minute time frame. And you can look at the lower time frames too, the 6, 3, 1 minute, things like that to get a more sniper entry. And I don't care what you think. I don't care if it goes to 200K. I'm telling you right now, you have to take profit at the point of control. Okay, and then you have to protect yourself, stop loss to entry, TP1, you have to. I mean, just look how many times you found support and resistance here. You have to take profit there in case you roll back over and come lower, all right? And then the ultimate TP is going to be here at the high. And don't just be that trader be that trader, not financial advice, okay? Be that trader if that's what you want. TP1, TP2, that just takes your profit. You make $500. You're like, oh, yay, $500. Well, hang on. I used to do this. Hang on. You might swing failure pattern this with bearish divergence, and you get your trade right back down. TP1 here, TP2 at the low. So don't just take a trade and hoorah and pat yourself on the back and celebrate. Look at it. I mean, if that's what you want to do and you're happy and you're done for the day, great. But you might have yourself a new, look, that's all you've done the whole time. Take out one, take out two, take out. High, low. You're bouncing a range. So see if you can get you an extra trade there before you celebrate. And then once you get in that trade, once it starts moving and you take profit and protect your trade with the stop loss, then celebrate. See if you can get you back-to-back trades there. I love it. Yeah, I'm on. Oh, dude. Hey, bro. Listen, old mate, I am heavy. Look, I'm filling an order right now. Literally, like as we speak, I'm filling a Fetch AI order for 70 grand. I got 69% of it filled. Yeah, I've been filling this. I've been trading this. I started this Fetch AI with $55,000. I've been spot trading it in Discord. This account's at 70K now, just this week. This week is when I started trading on this Fetch AI. I hit a big one last night. Yeah, I am massively on Fetch AI, bro. Look, we talked about that extensively on the stream today if you go back and watch. Yeah, I'm more than appreciative. This coin looks great. This coin looks great. It's bullish in structure. The percentage gains, potential percentage gains. Let me go to the weekly. This is a good coin. I mean, I think I've spent half the stream trying to sell this to folks, and I don't know why. It doesn't benefit me at all. I just really like this coin. Look, it's filling now. Filling now. Uh-oh. I don't know what I did. I really don't know what I did. I have no idea what I did. There you go. Look, it's filling now. 95%. $70,000 order. There it is. It's filled. And I expect it to come lower. I don't care. I'm buying it every chance I get. All right, guys, that's it for me now. We're going to jump out of here. You know what we're looking for. You know the trade. If I do get this swing failure long coming up, I'm going to be looking for it. I've got alerts. I think. I've got alerts. If I do get that long trade, I will let you know in Discord. I'll try to let you know in advance as we approach that area. But that's what I'm looking for. You could have my budget, bro. Just get in the Discord. Join us in the Discord. Take my trades. Not financial advice. I started somewhere. You got the one thing I can tell you that I know a lot of people struggle with. I'm not saying you do, but a lot of people do, and I used to. I may have a big $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 budget or more. Just saying. But I didn't always. I started out in this industry with $10,000. That is all I had was 10 grand to my name. And I struggled a lot because at 10 grand, especially if you're spot trading, and you get up like, I don't know, 3%, you make like $300, and it's like, gosh, that's not much. Like, okay, I don't even want to take it. It's not even worth me taking it. I was stressed out for 3 days to make $300, but it's 3%. You take it. And eventually, when you're trading with a $100,000 account, that 3% is $3 grand every time. Every time. And 200,000, that's $6 grand every time. Train yourself to look at percentages, not dollars. And eventually, those percentages will turn into big dollars. That's the best thing that I ever did psychologically. Aside from leverage trading, which, of course, increases the smaller budget exponentially, but percentage, not dollars. Okay, you guys, that's it. That's it. I'm going to get out of here. I'll be in Discord. Look for that trade, guys. If we get that SFP, look for that trade. That's what I'm looking for, guys. So I'll let you know. And old mate, if you're interested, go to AnthonyLeeCrypto.com. and you can get in my Discord there, or you can join the Discord below. Either way, in the description of the video. Love you guys. The Lord has blessed us today. We thank the Lord. We thank you guys. I will see you guys. Oh, remember CPI tomorrow. Big news, big volatility. And we're going to do a live VIP Discord tomorrow. It'll be crazy volatile during the VIP Discord tomorrow after CPI, no matter where price is. CPI